Gucci. Wake up, I gotta go get it. Wake up, wake up.
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, College Couch Podcast back in session. It's March, and you know what that means. March Madness is underway. We are approaching the Sweet 16, and listen, it's definitely been some madness going on. Listen, I hope that y'all brackets are still intact because mine broke within the first day. Stackz, I don't know if you made any this time around.
Well, I think a lot of people's brackets have been broken. Nobody's getting a perfect bracket. I know that because I know
Oh,
I
100%.
got the bracket. I got the bracket app or whatever, and they already done said that 31 thousand million whatever
Yeah,
have already been broken. So nobody's really getting no perfect bracket this year. I mean,
yeah.
it's been a lot of crazy basketball going on.
I listen. I definitely want to hear from you because we got to talk about your boys. Y'all had a little. Y'all ran into a Ivy League, right? And that Ivy League was not messing around with y'all. So we gonna get back to you.
I mean, hey, it's March Madness. I mean,
Yeah,
there's a reason why you don't have the same team win every year.
exactly, 100%. But I will say so. I did do a men's and a women's bracket this year, right? So my men's, of course, it definitely busted in the first day. But my women's, is actually strong right now. Of course, I've been telling people like I've genuinely been paying attention more to the women's this year than the men with
Right.
with reason. So within the second round, I was in the top 1,000, and until Duke beat Ohio State, and then I dropped. I dropped into like the 100,000s, and then Oregon State beat Nebraska, and then I dropped even more, but it's still looking strong. I mean, it's not. It's still like in that like 95-ish%, correctness type deal. But yeah, bro, it's been a wacky March Madness. I mean, Kentucky losing to a school named Oakland that's not even in California, right? This
Right.
school is in Detroit, Michigan.
And
Detroit,
they
Michigan.
want to talk about my boys going down. I
Right.
mean,
Okay. So let's hear from you, bro. Like, what when I'll start like this. Great game, but man, it's hard when you get a guy from Oakland. I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now, but when you have a guy like that, that's literally just automatic, and he's just going crazy like that. Like, what can you do?
yeah, I mean, it's March Madness. I mean, Joker's
Mhm.
going to have games where it's like everybody's giving their best.
Yeah.
Everybody. Like, whatever team you saw play regular season, if that's the film you got on them, imagine that times 10. Because
Mhm.
everybody in March Madness, it's like playoff basketball when, you talking NBA and stuff too. So it's like everybody plays better.
Mhm.
So on any given day. So, you know what I'm saying? So there's nothing you can do. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's not what you game plan for, it's like there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, bro, is there any possible way as far as you win you win the conference, you're going into March Madness pretty much full steam ahead. You know what you have to do. What do you feel could have possibly changed that outcome from, just losing? Like, what do you feel like something could have changed, or I mean,
Losing
it is what it
for
is
who? For
for Auburn,
for Auburn. Okay,
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
we were still on. Well, I mean, we can play the what if game all day long because I
Mhm.
mean, the teams that were above us ranking wise, we beat them,
Mhm.
or we won the conference and we ended up getting the 4 seed. Like how
Yeah.
that worked, but I
Mhm.
mean, we can sit here and say that had we been a 1 seed or a 2 seed or a 3 seed that we'd have been good, but it don't matter. Like I mean, the way that these teams play, because these essentially this is a lot of these teams coming out party. Like,
Yeah.
you know I didn't expect for this team to an Ivy League team to come out balling like
Yeah.
this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and they had some shooters, and they
Yeah.
was talking junk, like they was, you know what I'm saying? They were about it. But this is why we love March Madness so much, because anybody can win,
Yeah.
anybody at any given moment. And it takes. We've seen this in the past, but especially this year, all it takes is one player getting hot and
Mm-hmm.
then staying hot. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
and uh, we had a lot of calls go the other way, but they got hot on time. They stayed hot, and they were able to finish, you know, through the players that were hot and stuff like that. So I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know anybody on their team. I'm just being honest with you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I literally was watching the games like, who are these guys? Like who? Like where did they come from? I mean,
Yeah.
like the one dude, hit a Kobe move, had him in the post, turned around with a high arcing shot
Yeah.
and laced it. I'm like, bro, what did you come from? But
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. This is a lot of these guys' time to shine. Not only did it prove that they belong to play with the big schools, it's also helping their draft stock. Like, I mean, you ball out in the tournament. You know what I'm saying? The sky's the limit. Like, it's
Mm.
not like football where, okay, one game you played good, but the rest of it we didn't see you. It's like, no, it don't matter. You come in this tournament, this is what we can judge you off of. You know what I'm saying? Because that
Yeah.
shows that you can compete at a high level. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it just makes it more competitive. It makes it more competitive. But for this
For sure.
game in particular, I just think Auburn really beat themselves.
Yeah.
I think that they weren't prepared for them to come out hitting shots like that. Because, I mean, we had the game in the bag.
Mm.
Then a couple fouls, then a couple bad calls, then a couple made shots, and then some missed opportunities on our end. Because, I
Yeah.
mean, even with all of that, we still had possession, the ball at the last possession. We just couldn't execute it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is. You
For
know.
sure. Yeah. Like you said, it happens, and I think Auburn is gonna bounce back. I truly believe. I mean,
Oh, as
especially
long as Bruce Pearl is there,
yeah.
yeah,
What a coach. What a coach.
right.
Coach Pearl. I truly enjoy what he's done to the Auburn program in the years he's been there, and it's good to see that because Auburn is a very dominant program. But on the other hand, you got people wanting Coach Calipari out of Kentucky after the loss to Oakland. I mean, you gotta think the last 3 years they've been knocked out, so it's not really looking good, for Kentucky, especially being a blue blood like we say here on the podcast. But it's Kentucky they want a ring.
They're like in football terms, they would be like Georgia, Bama, all of those. It's like this is the expectation.
Yeah,
If we're not getting close to that every year or winning it, it's a bust. It's a fail.
yeah,
Like, it's not like with Auburn. Nobody expected us to get to this point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like to win the tourney and everything like that. That's not what we're known for. Like, we're more known for football. Football, we expect to get to that level. You know what I'm saying? And if that's not, if we're not competing at that level, then it's a bust. But Auburn basketball is new to being this dominant force, you know.
mm,
So, but Kentucky, this is what their identity is. It's almost like Duke in a
mm,
sense. Like, this is what we do in the sense of that. So if you're not meeting their expectation, of course fans are gonna come for your head. Like,
mm.
so you telling me if Kirby Smart, got knocked out every year and y'all never won a championship, or you know what I'm saying, after winning what y'all did, y'all
Yeah,
gonna come for his head. Y'all gonna be like, yeah, it's time to go. Y'all did it with Mark Richt. Mark Richt, y'all was getting 10 wins with Mark Richt. Y'all just
yeah,
couldn't get to the championship. Y'all couldn't get over that hump. And y'all was like, all right, man, it's time for a change.
hmm
And Kirby got there, and it's like, okay, now this is what we talking about. So the same thing. If he was to do the same thing, if he got stacked, then you're gonna be like, all right, you know,
Yeah.
it might be time for a change. That's just where Kentucky is right now. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. And also want to thank you for giving everybody an invite to the gun show that we got going on right here with the tank top. But no, I mean essentially that is very true. When you have a program like Kentucky that literally goes through each and every year just like a blue blood should and dominate, it kind of brings a sense of like, okay, what are we doing? You know, like I was watching all type of Instagram reels and TikToks about Kentucky students were really disappointed in the game against Oakland. Like they were like, dude, like we pay money for this school. Like we're sitting out, doing raffles for tickets to go to these games, and we're losing every time we get to March Madness. Like we're tired of it. Like you know, the other Coach K, as I call him, he's done his thing. He's done what he's good for Kentucky, but it's time for us to move on. Bring in a new, fresh face that's going to help us get back to that blue blood mentality that we once had. So I hate it for Kentucky. I know that they want to be dominant again, and I mean, eventually they could. I don't see why they wouldn't, but it may be time.
I mean, you think about it too. Now you get to the point. Now you got NIL, so NIL is not just affecting football; it's affecting basketball too.
Yeah.
Now it's like, you know, okay, I'm gonna go where I know I can make this money real quick. So, and then if you're not giving it to me, I know somebody else will. So it's
Mhm.
not like it used to be. You want to play for a Duke or a Kentucky. That was your dream schools because you know what I'm saying, they were dominant. Like they were consistently in the picture. Now it's like, okay, who gonna give me the most money? You know what I'm saying? Not for
Yeah.
everybody, but for the most part, that's what it's kind of feeling like. Because you got a problem when your blue bloods are not at least making a deep run into the into March Madness.
Hmm.
You know, that's when you know, okay, well, I'm going to these other schools, these smaller schools. I'm getting money from there.
Yeah.
I'm getting money from here. You know, now now we can compete. It's making. I personally think NIL is. I mean, although with some of the stuff I don't like it, it's definitely making it more competitive across the board.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you got small schools that are being able to compete with these big schools now.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
because I mean, basketball is a little different than football, but in the sense of it being competitive regardless of school. But you know, it's definitely feels like it's an even playing field this year. I think it's up for grabs, if you will. I don't I don't
Yeah.
I don't see a specific team that's like, yeah, straight out. That's who's gonna win it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, it's you kind of just got to take it with a grain of salt in a sense. That's just how I look at it. Essentially, I mean, it sucks, but hopefully they just bounce back. And I mean, again with NILs, that's a whole nother you know thing within itself. So you
Right.
kind of just gotta go along with the program in a way. So. But yeah, man. Back to these women, though, man. Well, I will say this before we switch over to the women. It's been a lot of close games. Like when
Right.
I say I was watching the Purdue and who was that they played? They were playing Jesus. It was Purdue and who did they just play this past week? It wasn't Utah State, was it? It may have been. Okay, it was Utah State.
Mhm.
So in the first half, Utah State was really not that far behind Purdue. Like, I mean, it was literally within what I want to say it was 33-49. So a comeback was possible.
Right.
But man, when you have these teams that just cut it on in that second half, when you listen, you got a 20-minute half, right? So I mean that's a lot of time, especially with your TV timeouts and all this other stuff, your fouls. We kind of knew the outcome, but
Yeah,
man,
I mean, you make the best teams make adjustments
yeah,
at halftime.
hmm
You shouldn't see the same team you saw the first half.
Yeah.
in the second half. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Whether you winning or losing, you make adjustments, and if the adjustment is to keep attacking the same thing, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
let's get it into this hand or whatever, or we up so much, we taking this out. It's not the same team. So
Mm.
regardless, your adjustments are gonna be made at halftime. I mean, we see that in all sports that
Right.
play. They have a halftime period. They play
Mm.
4 quarters or 2 halves or
Yeah.
whatever. Everybody makes their adjustments. Like, okay, this is not working, or it's working, but it's not working as effectively as we want. So let's tweak some stuff. You know what I'm saying? And in other retrospects, okay, the three is working, but we're not doing it as much as we would like to.
Yeah.
But let's keep doing what's working, but let's also add to the other things that
Mm.
are working that we're not capitalizing on. Like, for instance, threes working and we're not really taking that many, but driving to the cup, this person or this player, this matchup driving to the cup is working. Okay, let's figure out how we can, get them to drive and kick or whatever the case may be. It's always an adjustment that can be
Yeah.
made to better, you know, protect your lead. But if
Yeah.
you have the lead or if you don't have the lead, then, potentially gain it back. So,
Right.
because that's
Break.
what happened with the Auburn game. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on, real quick. Breaking our fourth wall here. I'm seeing I'm on 50%. Am I looking? Am I good on your end? Is it
yeah,
like green?
yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay, perfect. Cool. Just wanted to make sure because listen, we want to be able to for y'all to see us and this thing don't black out because it will black out like it did a few weeks ago. And also, this is our 20th episode, so we definitely want to make sure this one is a keeper for sure. So,
Right, right,
but yeah, no, agreed. I mean, like that's what you mean. Like this is really a showcase for these lower seed teams to really come and compete. And I mean, when you see stuff like this, man, it's almost like that shock and awe effect. Like,
right.
bro, like these teams are actually keeping up. Like I was watching Jackson State against UConn this past week, and man, like those girls, they fought, bro. And I mean, when I say they fought hard to the finish, like you had, bro, you just had to be like, man, like that's a team right there that is actually going to be something, and they have, like, they've been dominating the SWAC for the last 4 years. Like, so I mean, when you see teams like this come out and they make that statement and that impact, bro, you just gotta applaud it, bro.
Right,
So no,
right.
I agree. But yeah, man, speaking of the women, what more can we say, bro? Like the teams that we said were gonna be dominating are pretty much taking over.
Yeah,
South
it's a little more
Carolina,
cut and dry with the women's, to
yeah,
me.
for sure. But the surprising loss, bro, for me was Nebraska.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Nebraska, man, I was hurt about that one, bro. When they lost by 2 to Texas A&M.
yep.
Come on, man. I was
It was right
just
there. It was right there. I
that's
mean,
that was enough. Yeah,
go ahead.
that was an. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just saying that was another loss that really, really shook up my bracket, to say the
Yeah.
least. I mean, but I mean, it was a lot of shaking. The bracket was shaking today. I mean, this year. So, but yeah, it's definitely been that March Madness is that's what is needed. That
Right, right,
excitement, that
right,
going into the unknown.
right.
So, but yeah, man, it's definitely been one for the years. I'm looking now, again, a lot of close games. Baylor and Virginia Tech, 3-3. Utah lost to Gonzaga, man, and that was another one. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
Utah
it's
Utah
this
was
time of
strong this
year.
year. Yeah,
Right, right.
yeah. Utah was very, very dominant this year. Tennessee losing.
Yeah.
So yeah, man,
For the
it's a lot,
men's, the SEC is not looking too sharp right now.
bro. I was just about to get on that.
Yeah, for the
Let me
men,
tell you.
the SEC. But me, like I said before,
Yeah.
the playing field is level now. It's more level now. The SEC not looking good this year, but it's been times when we've been dominant.
Yes.
It happens. Like, the power shift.
Mhm.
But SEC team, but for the women's, the SEC teams are what's keeping it interesting and fun, and they're dominating.
Right.
So I mean,
Yeah. No.
that just goes to show you that the playing field is becoming more level, and the women is actually balling this not
Abs.
this year alone, but
Yeah. And I mean, it's so crazy to think like even the teams that don't like get the opportunity to make it into the actual tournament, like the NIT, the National Invitation Tournament. First of all, they're actually talking about trying to take that away because the number of opt outs that happened this year, like it was like 16 teams that opted out. Like they were like, if it's not March Madness, we don't want to do it. Like which was actually, I get it, but it's just like wow, like the NIT has been around for a long time, and I think this was a record number of of opt outs. It's kind of like, man, like especially when you're saying, we're going into this new age of NILs and stuff like that. Do you know a lot of people that really watch the NIT for real?
well, no, not
Exactly.
as much as I mean, okay, cool. You don't watch it that much,
Okay, cool.
but look, I look at it as an opportunity for the next year. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you didn't play well at this, but now this is your opportunity to play in a game or play in a tournament where you can potentially have, what I'm saying, your up and coming players, your freshmen that didn't get to play, just ball out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if a player is planning on staying and they're a good player, you get time to build chemistry because
Yeah.
you're not just playing against each other. You're playing against, other competition. That kind of could help you get the ball rolling for going forward. Like, you already got chemistry with each other because y'all been together a long time, but now players that don't get to play that'll probably play next year. Like, for instance, if Fu Wiley wasn't to come off the bench or whatever, she was a freshman that didn't get to play a lot, you know, and some other girls were the same way. That could be a chemistry for the future because she's a freshman.
Yeah.
Those players can get that chemistry in, and if they lose, they've lost together, and they have that feeling together. Not just the upperclassmen. So I mean, I think it's a good opportunity for that. No, it's not March Madness, but it's something.
Yeah.
And it's something that you still can compete for against other people at a level that some of the players that haven't been able to play consistently with. I mean, you don't have to play your superstars with that. I mean, in my opinion, if you don't want to, but I just hate the fact. I guess for me, I look at it any chance for me to be able to play
Yeah.
and tune my game or be better or build chemistry or whatever. I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So that was be my thought about it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and I think and I think too, like with the NIT, it works. Again, it's not March Madness, but dude, just to have that one last time with your team, especially if you're a
right,
senior
right,
or a grad, you get that
right,
opportunity to just be with them, and your coaches, just that one last time. Like, don't take that away from the team, especially when y'all have done so well. Well,
right.
I can't say done so well, but you know,
But
you
but
you
but
you've
but
done
but
what you needed to do.
that's nobody's fault but your own. Like
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You win together, you lose together. So I mean, okay, we didn't win. So
Hmm.
that means you telling me that we just gonna stop right here when we got so if we didn't get to the March Madness, then obviously we got some stuff to clean up.
Yeah.
Now here you got this NIT, you know what I'm saying? Why not? So
Yeah.
let's tune those things up. Like this is where you can make a mistake, and then
Right.
you know what I'm saying, and you can build chemistry there. There's literally a platform here. Say, hey, here, you know, work on what you need to work on so you
Hmm.
make the tournament next year. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So, but it's the same kind of thing with football. Like a lot of players sit out for the championship. I mean, for the bowl games and stuff like that. To me, that's just like we saw this past year. So gave a lot of sophomore and freshmen that didn't get to play an opportunity to play together, and showcase their skills and what let fans see what the future looks like. Like
Yeah.
especially, I know Auburn played Maryland, and to me, the player that played for Maryland, they should have been playing the whole regular season because they
Yeah.
were good. Like I mean, to me, the quarter. I saw a couple quarterbacks on Maryland's team. I was like, bro, where they come from? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But had they opted out and said, "No, we're not gonna play," they wouldn't have got that experience. They wouldn't have got that national because you don't want to go into the next season with jitters or anything like that.
Mhm.
In my opinion. So when you have those opportunities to play those games, you've already played on the big stage because everybody's watching. Because that's the only football really we got of college right then. So everybody's watching. So you're
Yeah.
on a big stage. You know what I'm saying? People are seeing your name because like Tennessee's quarterback, had he not played, we wouldn't even really saw what he could do.
Yeah.
You know what
And
I'm
that
saying?
man is a menace. He's going
And
to be a
he
menace.
balled out. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that to say if you play in these games or whatever, these games that are given to you that you can still win something from, still win a trophy from,
Yeah.
why not do it? Okay, it don't mean you feel like it don't mean nothing, but it actually does. You didn't make the playoffs. That's nobody's fault but your own for not
Yeah.
winning those games. You wanna make it, win more games. I mean, it sounds so simple. I know it's not as cut and dry, but that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
So you can't be
I
mad at the world because you fell short. You
yeah.
know,
I couldn't agree more. And I mean, for the teams that are actually, that did take the time to, actually, you know, play in the NIT, I guarantee you they're going to make a statement going into the next season because they've
right, right.
still been able to build that chemistry and find, the patches of, trying to patch what they made mistakes in.
You
So
got film on yourself that you might
yeah,
not have necessarily had you not played.
exactly,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So
Yeah, yeah, definitely got to get out of that spirit of oh well, we don't want to do it this, that, and the third because that could have helped somebody's draft stock too. So, but yeah, no, I definitely agree to that for sure. But yeah, speaking of your girl Fu Wiley, man, when they played North Carolina this past week, bro, she was insane. I think at first she started off like 4 for 4 from the three, ended up 4 for 7, 20 points, leading in all scores once again. Like, bro, this
he's a
what
beast.
what is going on?
I already know what. I don't have to even watch it. Even though
Yeah.
I still pay attention, I still watch stuff. But I'm just saying, I know she's gonna be special.
Hmm.
To me, to me, if she was to go to the league, I personally, the way her game is, I think she could transition over to the league
Yeah.
right now as a freshman, just because her game is simple, and I'm not. It's not no knock. Her game is simple because she makes it simple. She don't take a lot of dribbles. She don't. You know what I'm saying? She makes her moves. She gets to the cup. Like, cause she's fast, so she gonna get by you. And then if she's shooting it, she catching and shooting, or
Yeah.
she gonna dribble and pull up. It's not no extra craziness to it or whatever. It's simple. It's cut and dry, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I think she can be special.
And
I
I
think.
think she will be. She
Oh,
definitely
for
will be.
sure, for
She
sure,
will
for
be.
sure.
Cause I mean, just the way that she can. She's a game changer. She is a
Right,
game
right.
changer.
She can get any bucket she wants. Like
Yeah.
like for instance, like with Angel Reese, she's got to post up because she has no three. Like,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, she can shoot the three, but it's not consistent enough to be
Hmm.
like, all right, we can't let her kill us from three. But for Wiley, she can get any bucket she wants to. She
Yeah.
can, got a mid range game. She can pull up from three. She can get by you and get the easy layup or whatever. You
Hmm.
know, I mean, she don't post up like that. But she's a guard. She doesn't really have to post up. That's not necessary, especially in today's game,
Hmm.
because today's game is spacing. It's speed. It's fast. You know what I'm saying? So I think that she could be great.
Yeah.
She can be great.
Absolutely. It's so funny. Listen, dude, you can tell I've been well, you have as well, but the games because this LSU Middle Tennessee game, so it was a lot of jawing back and forth because, of course, as you know, Middle Tennessee played Louisville and Haley Van Lift came from Louisville, so she's been talking saying Middle Tennessee was going beat Louisville, which they did, but then it came to play LSU. And man, did LSU struggle against Middle Tennessee before the half, bro. Like I was actually shocked. Like I was thinking, they were just gonna come in and straight, just run right through them like they, normally do. But man, like LSU was struggling. after
Right.
right before
But
the
that,
half.
for one, that goes back to both of what we've been talking about. We
Hmm.
talk about these smaller schools, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying, wanting to make a statement. Then it goes to the fact of who makes the best halftime adjustments. And LSU made some sensational
yeah,
just even if it was all right, bro, let's quit
hmm,
playing. You
right.
know? Like so and that's essentially what it is. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people question this LSU team. Like, are they really what we think they are because of this game? And I was just like, I wouldn't necessarily go as far as saying that because every team is going to have some pains. Like, growing pains are going to happen. But
last time I checked, a W is a W, no matter how
exactly,
it looks, right?
exactly,
So
exactly.
yes, it was sloppy, but you gotta think this is a game where this is a sport where it's
Mhm.
passion and there's words behind it. So Bill, of
Yeah,
course, Middle Tennessee is like they're not gonna take that. You can be beat by anybody.
hmm,
Like Georgia could be beat by anybody as dominant as they are. If they let their foot slip off the gas, they can lose. Like you
right.
know what I'm saying? Bama too, and whoever else you want to throw in there. If you let a game get into your head, meaning it's like with LSU and them going back and forth, they letting people get into their head, and
Mhm.
Middle Tennessee took advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
I personally believe at halftime people like okay, they John or whatever,
yeah,
but calm down. The best way you shut somebody up, you win.
right.
Cause you
And
don't
I mean,
win, then I got more ammo to talk. You know,
exactly. And I
like, but if
mean,
I win, what you gonna say? You can't
yeah,
say nothing.
yeah. The half the pre so they kind of gave us a little interview from Middle Tennessee's coach, where the pregame speech he gave was just pretty much like, man, listen, they've counted us out all season, right?
Right,
You're going
right,
up against the defending national championships. Just give it your all. Like you go out there and play your
right,
game. I mean, it was motivational to the point where you could see that
right,
the girls heard what he was saying because they went out there and played their
right.
behinds off. Like they
Right, you
played,
play like you ain't got nothing
yeah,
to lose. Like
yeah,
now, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Everybody already counted you out of this game.
hmm,
You know what I'm saying? What better way to give it your all, and you might come out of here with a win. You
hmm,
know what I'm saying? Just play your butt off. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because if you lose, everybody was right anyway.
exactly,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
So nobody was surprised that they lost. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? But everybody was surprised that they were winning like they were winning before the half. You know what I'm saying? Giving it to them like that. So why not? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of these teams come in there with that mindset of,
yeah,
yeah, everybody already counted us out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Let's not give them no more fuel. And that's kind of essentially where they ended up. But then LSU probably got a similar speech saying,
mm,
look, y'all finna let these jokers come away and win. Like, come
right,
on. You finna, y'all gonna be the laughing stock of the league. Like, y'all, come on. What y'all wanna do?
right,
Y'all were talking all
exactly.
that junk. Let's go. And then
Yeah,
they hit that second gear. So I mean, depending on who hits their stride at the right time, who wants it more at the right time, because you can want it for the first half all day long, but if you
right.
don't play like it the second half, don't matter.
And you've said it before. Basketball is a game of runs. Like
Right,
you have
right,
to be consistent on your runs in order to win a game. Like
right, right,
if
right,
it if I mean, listen, if you once you lose that lead or that run, I mean, hey, you better hope you can
right,
get it back
right. And
because
you withstand it. Like,
yeah,
okay, they on their run, they don't wait for a few point swing or
hmm,
whatever. Okay, now let's readjust. We're not down by that much. Okay, let's make some spot. Cause to be honest with you, okay, they scored 4 baskets unanswered, 10,
yeah,
6 baskets unanswered. Okay, it's not bad.
mm,
Okay, we down by 10. Okay, now let's play defense and let's go on our 10 run. So
right,
now you got 10. So it's 10-10. So then you just keep on going back and forth with that.
mhm,
And what teams mess up at, they lose that momentum, and then they can't make the stops that they want to make. You know what I'm saying? And that's what essentially what happened with Middle Tennessee is that
yeah,
well they couldn't withstand those runs.
okay.
So
I like it. I like it. Now, before we go into our next topic, which is the one that we were talking about before we went on, anybody that you're looking forward to going into the final, few rounds of the tournament? Any team you're looking at? Any specific player? Well, I know it's one specific player because you pretty much the president of her fan club is Malaysia
Hey, the
Wiley.
women, nah, I just South Carolina got my vote in the women. For
Okay,
me, for the men's, it's hard to tell, man,
yeah,
because it's just up and down with the
yeah.
men. You know what I'm saying? Like I had my thoughts at first, but all of them got knocked out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Well, funny enough, so I don't think I said it in the beginning, but Tennessee is my winner for the men's bracket, and of course South Carolina is the winner for my women's. So Tennessee is still in, right? Tennessee is my final hope. So we'll see if they can hold on. A lot of people have really judged me for my pick, which is understandable. But I mean, I just have a feeling Tennessee might come out with it, but we'll see though.
hey,
But yeah, so those are my two teams. But I have a feeling it could end up getting broken. I mean, it's gonna probably end up not being Tennessee, but that's okay though.
no, I mean,
I've
yeah, I
had
mean
fun.
that's your pick. That's your pick. But the way
Hey,
this March Madness goes, it's like
yeah,
you just never know. You just never know.
exactly. But hey, like they say, at least you had fun, and I think I've had fun watching this year's
Right.
March Madness. So yeah, but bro, what a storyline I'm fin to tell you right now. Hold on, let me position myself up a little. Bro, we got some college football headlines, right? My brother in Christ, tell me why Caden Proctor, right, started off coming out of high school, committed to Iowa, decommits, commits to Bama, plays for Bama, they lose to Michigan, of course, goes into the transfer portal, goes back home to Iowa, stays for spring camp, collects the money from the collective, now is transferring back to Alabama.
Yeah,
Their brother, that brother cannot go back home anymore.
I don't understand. I don't understand the bouncing. Like if you're gonna go, I just don't understand it. Like I mean, unless he just trying to collect a check or whatever, I don't know. But it just don't make sense.
It
Okay,
doesn't.
it just don't make sense. Like
Hold on. Let me for the people that did not understand what I just said. It is from Iowa. From Iowa. Out of high school, commits to Iowa. Decommits from Iowa. Commits to Alabama. Plays for Alabama. Loses to Michigan. Goes into the transfer portal. Commits back home to Iowa. Stays for practice during spring camp. Collects the money from because he did get a few NIL deals. Collects the money from the collective, Iowa collective. Commits back to Alabama. But crazy enough, it's rumors going around that he spent spring break with his Alabama teammates as well.
so what to me? What's okay? So unless maybe at the beginning he committed to Iowa. I
Mm-hmm.
understand that because you're from there. Cool,
Yeah.
you know. But then you decommit. You go to Bama. You play a whole season, right? Okay, so now I get it 'cause Nick Saban left. Okay,
Yeah.
so you leave Bama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but then you go to Iowa again. So it's obviously aimed at two schools that's on your radar. So you go to Iowa. You know, now you are playing for Iowa, which was initially the school you always wanted to go to. You play through that spring camp just to find out my home is in Bama. So now, in my opinion, the only one that doesn't make sense is why are you coming back to Bama now? Is it just because of your teammates? And then my reason to me, this is why I always say it needs to be a cap on it because
Mm-hmm.
now you messing everything up. Like I can't trust that you gonna. Like, why would I want you to commit to me
Yeah.
if I just feel like you're gonna leave again? Like, cause you've done it 4 times. Like, I mean,
That's
you know what I'm
crazy.
saying? So now you said you went through spring camp. Now you're transferring. So this will be your second time transfer. So now you already got that on you. So you only got 1 year of film on you. 1 year. So what else? What else are you gonna do? Are you gonna transfer again after this season? You gonna transfer again before? Like What's really going on?
bro. I if the people at home are confused, let me tell you, I'm more confused even relaying the headline to you because
See,
I can't wrap my head around it. Like there's
I'm
no
not. See,
loyalty whatsoever, and I get
nah,
that
and
we're in
and
we're in
and
an era
and,
of no loyalty.
and that's I mean, but that's because I mean, teams are usually not loyal to players, so
Yeah,
I get that part. I just me personally, it just should be a cap on it, like
right.
you know what I'm saying, like because I mean, even in the NFL, like you know, people in the NBA, people get mad at players for demanding trades. I'm like, nah, but don't bat an eye when the team trades somebody. So I get
Yeah,
it. But at some point, you just gotta like, okay, one time you transferring, okay, but two times it's like, all right, bro, maybe you the problem. You know,
I
three times you definitely the problem, and then anything after that, you know.
yeah,
But
but
for me, you shouldn't be like to me. Once you commit, you shouldn't be allowed to commit anywhere else.
mm,
That's I'm standing on that because when you commit, that's saying that I've experienced all the other schools that are interested in me, and this is the school I want to.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? So now everybody, the school is game planning for you to be whatever it is that you're gonna be. But when you do all of that and you decommit and you say, "Oh, I want to go back and explore my options again," now you're indecisive. Now
yeah,
it's like you're blowing everything up. Like you know what I'm saying? Now you just trying. To me, now it's just you find the best money deal for you,
mm,
not the best situation. You know what I'm saying? Because if it was the best situation, you would have found that when you went through all of those schools. You know what I'm saying? So if you weren't ready to commit, don't commit. I think that once you lock it in, that's it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Now, once you get in school and you want to transfer and stuff like that, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Because situations change.
right.
But like for him, I understand. Like now that I break it down, I understand his first initial ones because
Mm,
okay, you committed to Iowa at first, and then you decommitted to go to Bama, right? You got Saban, they might have offered you more, or whatever the case may be.
mm,
You get to Bama, you play the whole season. Okay, now Saban leaves, so I understand you wanting to transfer because, you know, most of the time players go to play for Saban when they, you know, they don't go to, in my opinion, they don't go to play for Bama, they go to
right,
play for Saban,
right.
you know. So he leaves, so I understand you wanting to go back home or whatever. Uh, but then you go through spring camp and say, you know what, I miss my lineman brothers at Alabama. Let me go back to Alabama. So that to me shows that can't quite trust that you're gonna be, you
Mm,
know, you're gonna finish the whole thing with us. Because once something changes or something strikes your attention, you're gonna jump straight on that and be like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I get, like I said, I get every reason he transferred except for the last one.
absolutely, and I
You
think
know,
too, it's so funny because people were joking saying that he literally stayed and watched Caitlin Clark play her season, and then was like, you know what, I've seen what I need to see. She liked that, and let me go ahead and go back to Bama. But
right,
you know,
right.
but
But
like,
so he got free tickets to the
I
show.
mean, yeah, you just saw the number one draft pick in the WNBA play, but you know, but I just feel that like if you're gonna put yourself through all that, at least know like, hey, like this is what I truly. If he's happy, like okay, cool. That he gonna like again. These players are grown. Like they're gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day. But it's just like that is just so like you essentially just lowballed your own home state. Like the fact that they even let you come back as far as the school, not even the state itself, but as far as the school, and gave you, you
Right,
know, like, hey, okay, let's see if this works out. And then you go back to the school that you just left them for again. Like what is that?
right. Yeah, but I think the biggest slap in the face, you went through spring practice.
The biggest slap of the face is you took the money. You got
Well, that was
almost
gonna
five
happen
hundred thousand
regardless.
dollars,
That was
huh?
gonna happen regardless. But you
Yeah,
went. That's
but
what I'm saying. What I'm saying, you went through spring practice.
yeah,
So you going through spring practice. That means you're competing for reps. You're taking somebody else's spot if you beat somebody on the depth chart.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You've uh 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 created bonding with teammates. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Y'all probably talk junk about how y'all gonna try to win X, Y, and Z, or what y'all goals are for there. You learn it. You learn their plays.
Yeah.
You know, so you know their whole playbook.
Well, would you really say it was a lot of bonding if you're spending time in spring break with your Alabama teammates and not the teammates from out
Well, I mean,
Iowa?
if you're in training camp, you have to bond some in some aspects. Now,
Yeah.
was he fully engaged in it? I mean, I don't know, but I
Yeah.
mean, but you going through a whole camp because it's almost April, so
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. You almost at the spring game, so
Mhm.
the depth chart is pretty much locked in for the spring game.
Right.
So now you transferring. Now who are they gonna put in your spot now? Because you've been competing with this person for reps.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So now it's just, and then you go back to a team. Then you take the money that could potentially be at somebody else's spot when you probably knew you was going back to Bama. Now you finna collect Bama. Now money wise, smart decision, smart move. You
Yeah.
finna get
Yeah.
2 checks from 2 different colleges. I
Yeah.
mean, but I personally, if I was gonna do that, I wouldn't have went through spring camp.
Hmm.
You know, I would have been like, all right, I need to go. But then we don't know because it might have been some family issues that made him go back to Iowa. Because I mean,
Essentially, I mean,
you
yeah.
know, if that's the case, then really his heart was at Bama. So
Hmm.
if the situation is he had family stuff that he had to take care of coming back to Iowa, I understand him going through training camp. At least he's still in shape for when he goes to Bama. He
Right.
didn't lose any time. So if it's family issues, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Then I understand why he did all the flip flopping he did. Because, like I said at the beginning, you know, Bama, he probably grew up an Iowa fan because he's from there. So that's why he automatically committed there.
Mhm.
But then when you get to the nitty gritty of it, you say, okay, Iowa's cool, but let me venture off. Because let's be honest, I was not really competing for a championship consistently.
Yeah.
And then the competition, you could argue it is not as hefty as the SEC
Hmm.
might be. So then you got Bama coming along, which offers all of that. It offers a culture that you might buy into, and then you go there.
Yeah.
You play the whole season, and the person that probably came out and said, "I want you to come to my school," and he leaves. So you leave. And then
Hmm.
if it's family issue, you say, "All right, I'm gonna go to Iowa to be by my family." You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Take care of this. And then you say, you know what, my heart really was at Bama. All my family stuff is cleared up. Let me go where I want to go. And then essentially that completes the whole case. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
But if you had no reason to go back to Iowa specifically, and you had no reason to say, all right, I'm done with Iowa, let me go back to
Yeah.
Bama, then I have a problem. But if you
Right.
got a solid reason for saying I'm going back to Iowa, meaning family, it's like for instance with what's his name that played for Texas, A.D. Mitchell. He
Yeah.
left Georgia to go to Texas to be closer to his family.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? Even though on the outside looking in, you leaving a championship team where you probably gonna be the number one receiver.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? But if it's for family, your daughter or whatever, I understand. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Cause if you're a baller, you can ball anywhere. So
Exactly.
I understand if you go in there for those reasons. But if you just being like, all right, bro, I'm just finna go whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, cause now it's not fair to the guys that you building bonds with. Like, you know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
I mean,
Agreed. No. I'm sorry. What were you saying? Finish.
nah, good, good.
But yeah, no. I think the thing that's really just going through my mind now is, as especially with new head coach Kalen DeBoer, like what do you like? Well, I really just want to get in the mind of Caleb DeBoer for a minute. Just like, bro, like, okay, now I got kids leaving when their head coach leaves, which is understandable. I mean, when you're playing for a coach like Nick Saban, it's almost like, dude, like, okay, why am I here? Like a lot of guys got in the portal once he announced that
Right,
he was
right, which is
retiring.
expected.
Yeah, exactly. But now you want to come back. I guess the guys have probably told him like, yeah, it's not as bad as we thought. And, now guys are like, okay, well, if y'all saying it's not that bad, then maybe I should just go back and try it, and see for myself. So I'm just like, as far as like, do I give this kid a shot? As especially he hasn't been here for my spring camp. He's now taking someone else's position, especially now he's technically a returning player. Like that's it. I know it's a lot on Kalen DeBoer's plate right now for sure.
Oh, it's a reason why not a lot of people wanted the Bama job.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reason, like the people are like, well, why you didn't get this coach? Why you didn't get this coach? I always knew this, but it was gonna take a special type of coach to be able to come in and fill Nick Saban's shoes. So think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You got arguably the greatest coach to ever coach in college football. He leaves. Everybody that comes to play at Bama came to play for him, not come to play for Bama. Because I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me Bryce Young. You can't convince me that Bryce Young was a Bama fan growing up. I think Saban was the one was like, yo, I want to play for a coach like that. Or he came to his house like this, that, and third. So we knew it was going to be hard when Saban left. So when Saban leaves, everybody leaves, which is expected, you know? So now, you got this guy coming in who coached at Washington, so nobody really knows much about him, but if you really look at it, the players that have come advocating for him, they've talked about like, yo, he's a solid coach. He came and sat with my family, talked with my family. Cause he's humble. He's a humble dude. You know what I'm saying? He's a great leader, great coach, great person. Because he hasn't, to me, he don't seem like he's wavered at all. He's like, okay, I know what I'm getting into. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he literally took a Washington team to, the national championship. Yeah, they fell short, but, I mean, it's only so much you can do as a coach. Players got to execute. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was a coaching problem that made them lose that game. I think, it was an execution problem that made them lose that game. Of course, he's going to take the blame, because you coach, the quarterback and the coach take the blame. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so then you have them unknowing of that. He's not an SEC guy, he's not like like how Hugh Freeze was when he came back to the SEC. He knew the SEC and all that. But he didn't embody that Southern type of vibe. So you don't know what you're getting. But now the guys that stayed and the guys that he's brought, they're assembling a good team. And then people are taking note of that. Like, oh, we still got our quarterback. We got receivers coming in. Everybody's saying that this is that. I know they were clowning Bama for the little workout video they had or whatever, But I think that was very a good workout regimen. Like, that was a warm-up. If you really pay attention to it, that wasn't the whole workout. That was warm-up. Getting your fast twitch muscles and stuff like that warmed up, but nobody pays attention to that stuff. They want to see you lifting and running the 40, but it's something that got to go first before you get to that point. You know what I'm saying? So I think all the stuff he's doing is right. I think the board, he's changed my perspective on how Bama's going to be moving forward. Okay. I think Bama, maybe not this year, but I think in the future, Bama's going to be not necessarily back to as dominant as they were, but I definitely think they're going to be able to compete with Georgia and all these other teams. You know what I'm saying? Really, the main one is Georgia. We know that. But, in Texas, you know. So, I mean, I think it'll be all right. But I think he definitely got to talking to them and like, yo, it's cool, bro.
Yeah.
Like, so, because Washington had a good line last year.
Mm-hmm. They did,
So, so if you can coach them up in that, then, I mean, you know what I'm saying, that could be, a good situation. So
For sure, yeah. I hear that. Listen, I ain't got nothing. I'm listen. I got what I need to say out, and it sounds like you got some good napping weather going on behind you right there with the rain coming down behind you.
It's peaceful vibes.
I know it. Listen, it's gonna make for great background noise for when this podcast come out. So
right.
Listen,
probably talk a little loud or something.
Right, exactly. Well, listen, this is a perfect place to wrap. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the College Couch Podcast. I'm your host, Javaris Harris, alongside with the infamous Stackz Bridge, forever in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all from the bottom of our hearts for continuing to support us, show us love, give us feedback and recommendations on how you think that we should be able to better this podcast and our platform. Thank y'all. Like that's you as always. Thank y'all. I'm truly blessed to be able to. I think we both are blessed to be able to do this and be able to provide you guys this analysis and just us rambling on for an hour and a half or so, or an hour, however it may be. Thank you. Like I can't say it enough. Thank y'all so much. Stackz.
Yo, man, we appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us, man. College Scout Podcast, where we talk about sports, all things related to college. If you got somebody you want us to cover that's in school, that's coming out of high school, going to college, or is already in college doing their thing, but you don't feel like they're getting the recognition they deserve, DM the College Couch Instagram, hit Javaris up, hit me up. We active in the DMs. We definitely respond. So just let us know so we can go check them out. You know what I'm saying? Cover them on here, man. We like to get everybody involved. We appreciate y'all for tuning in with us. But like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell their friend, tell their cousin and their sister them. They love college sports. Go check out the College Couch Podcast, man. But in the meantime, between time, we got bills to pay. We out of here.
Wake up, I gotta go get it.